Oh, there we are.
There we are. Hello, everybody. Good to see everybody tonight.
What?
I figured you had an intro.
No.
Oh.
Very, very first live. Looks like we got Tag and B in here. Tax. And we got another B in here, which would be my mother. They call my mother Grandma B. Indiana Mike. Hippocrates Garden. Welcome all. What?
Oh, her thing says insert interesting comment
His.
here.
That's
Oh,
it.
his. Sorry. Sorry.
I guess everything's working correctly.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Is everybody able to hear us all right, I reckon? I guess so.
I guess so. So, I don't know. Something that I thought about today that we might want to talk about tonight is just like what is going through our heads right now. I know we're going to talk about seed here in a little bit, but the amount of things that we going through our head um, with the weather that's coming in. Not that the snow is that big of a deal because it's only 5-6 inches. I mean that's okay, but
well, 12 inches to 12 inches today at noon. Now it's 6 inches. Now they have no idea what's coming in as far as that goes. They know it's going to be cold.
Well, yeah, I mean the snow really isn't that big of a deal. It's the cold temperatures that we're going to be getting and all the things that go through your head of what you have to prepare for, for taking care of the animals and buttoning up any gardens or um, hydrants or whatnot. Just kind of doing a farm check.
Yeah.
And really, a lot of it can't really be done until like the day of.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're calling. Miss Hack says it's 82 in the house. Yeah, it was 85 in here last night, and I had them crank it down because it's definitely warmer in the house. We're not too bad yet, but they are calling for minus 70. Yeah, exactly. So they're calling for like 40-mile-an-hour winds here. We're supposed to be negative 30 to negative 40 wind chills on Thursday, Friday area. So yeah, we definitely could live in North Dakota at negative 70. That'd be, yeah.
Well, them up there. They're kind of used to the.
You don't get used to negative 70.
Well, not negative 70, but I mean like negative 30 here. We're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna die, and
negative 70 is pushing it up, even up there. I'm pretty sure negative 70 is not normal.
I don't know what you'd even do.
Are the kids there? Yeah, they're hiding. So, you want to say hi? No, he didn't. David didn't want to say hi. He didn't want to be YouTube famous tonight. I guess so.
No, but we got the rest of the foam spray went in today, so that was a blessing to get done before all the cold comes in. We're able to maybe get moved in tomorrow or start moving in later tonight. We'll see how far we get.
Yeah, I mean, it's being able to get out of the camper for negative 30-degree weather would be a very welcome, pleasant.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
if not, Ella is going to have some visitors for a little bit, all crawling into her bed.
That was Ella's thumb you saw. So, Hippocrates Garden says, I have some friends in the mountain in Tennessee off grid, only a small Jackery type thing for electricity, and an uninsulated storage shed, blankets, and 2 dogs for heat. Yeah. That would be, they don't get that cold, but they're going to feel this cold down all the way down into Florida, is what they're talking about. Yeah, it's going to get cold even down in those areas. So I can't imagine having a small Jackery. We've got a small Jackery sitting over there, and that thing doesn't amount to anything. So.
No, Miss Hack says she's going to have a ewe. Her ewe is about to have a baby. Oh, we did that 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago we had these temperatures? It was like -20 for.
It was blowing snow and calves were being born,
Oh,
putting the hay
bad.
out, and cows would go off and have calves in the middle of the snow, and as soon as they dropped, they'd be frozen to the ground, and it was horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. So
That was not our planning.
no,
that
no.
was the hand we were dealt. But
that
sure.
makes it really hard for having babies when it's this cold.
Hopefully, Miss Hacks, you have some place to put the ewe for a few days. 'Cause, I mean, they're talking a nice warm up come next week. So like Tuesday after, they're talking back in the 40s. So
that'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be real good.
So what else you got done? Been doing? Got the foam in today, so we'll start moving that in.
We got the foam in today, but just racking the brain of things that need to be done.
You're supposed to show yourself, Ella. That's what the chat says.
Nope. I'm good.
Yeah, the boys today. Remy was over. David's buddy was over today, and they did some stacking of firewood and got it. Andrew got a load of wood cut last night, so the boys got it unloaded today and got it stacked, some of it into the house. And gosh, I was packing Christmas gifts. We've got a pork Christmas box that we're selling. So I was getting those put together this morning, and just got cows fed. They're doing really good on the mineral. I mean, they're not.
Yeah.
The protein tubs we have out for them are.
I haven't seen them, but
Third. They only got like a third left.
So yeah, we've
been
putting more mineral back out. We're doing just a sea salt for them, and then kelp for the cattle. So we still have the 135 head of those, and they went through the first night. They hadn't had mineral for a little while. We'd been kind of doing that and neglecting the mineral on them for a little while, and they went through 100 pounds of salt in one night. So they were definitely salt starved. India and Mike had been stacking firewood all day, and like she'd said, the boys, I had cut firewood because I'm never ahead of my firewood. I'm always playing catch up, and I've got a bunch of logs cut ready to go. I just haven't gone up there. I've been cutting on down trees and cleaning up stuff, so I'm never on top of that. But I am 100% glad we have a wood stove. So is. But of course, that's our only heat source in here and in this building. So we'll have to be cutting more wood because when we get the greenhouse, and like Mike, I'm gonna show you. Hopefully, kind of show everybody how to do the greenhouse on a cheap. As far as these go, I mean that thing's not going to cost us very much, especially for being 60 foot long. That's going to be 60 foot. But what I'm really interested in is the double barrel wood stove going there. So obviously I'm going to have to cut a bunch more wood to heat that. But that'll be interesting to do. So.
Well, but this one here, I mean, we can only have like.
Oh yeah, it's only like 16 inches.
Like 16-inch logs.
14 inches, something like that.
16-inch logs. But the barrel will be able to get 3 foot logs in there.
Oh yeah, probably.
So we won't have to stock it as much.
It depends on how cold it is. You'll eventually have a backup possibly in there for overnight. So
it'll be pretty efficient though, because it's a double barrel, right?
Yeah, it will be.
So I mean you have to stock it.
You have to get up in the middle of the night and go out to do that.
I don't wake up in the middle of the night even for here.
So everyone wants to see who you are, Ella.
No. I'm a mystery. You want to see my face? Look at her.
Oh man.
Miss Hack says that the ewes have a barn to get into and have a heat lamp and in the barrel ready. So that'll be good.
Good deal.
So what else you got planned? What else we gotta get done before the bottom drops out?
I'm super worried about the cats.
Not at all.
No, we do need to get a little spot for the cats. That's
The barn cats.
the barn cats, so that they have a place to go hide. And yeah,
Yes.
wood. Um, and let's see. Well, we need to get some hay moved up to the top of the hill where the cows are going to be we're going to kind of house them in one spot at the top of the hill. There's a wood line up there. It's got some good protection as well as kind of a ditch line with quite a few trees in it. So
Yeah.
at least they'll be able to get out of the wind and have some protection. But we're going to stage some hay bales up there so we don't have to trudge through the 6 inches of snow or maybe a foot if that's what dumps on us. Got some row cover I need to get on the lettuce so that maybe we can actually keep what we have.
Yeah. I
And-
think the lettuce will be fine. We've got spinach to get in the ground, but we're gonna wait till that obviously till this cold goes through and we'll get that all in the ground then. So
Yeah, we'll see how hard the ground actually freezes. I don't know that we've had.
it won't freeze very bad in there. As long as the sun pops out, it'll be 70 in there again. So
Well, true. That's true.
But-
So, but just little things like that. You know, just about what anybody else would do that has animals and water lines out exposed and that sort of thing.
she asked you how do you keep your chickens alive?
Oh, well, B. So right now they have the high tunnel. We have the mobile coop backed up to the door of the second high tunnel, and they have like a foot that they have to jump to get into the high tunnel. So they have been living life in Florida basically,
40 degrees.
according to them. Yeah, it's been like 40 degrees in there, and if the sun pops out, they're definitely getting a suntan and spreading their wings. But they're doing a good job in there. They first time that we've done that, so
Yeah.
they're really enjoying it. They look really good.
Of course, chickens are birds, so birds survive cold as long as they're dry.
Yeah,
As
yeah,
long as they can get their feet up underneath of them. And we've had some problems in the past with combs.
yes. With
'Cause if you can't keep the draft off of them,
yeah,
but-
they get
Frostbite.
Frostbite. Thank you. Yeah.
but they won't get frostbit in the tunnel.
No. Well, and with the snow coming in, they don't. If there's snow on the ground, they don't get out of the coop. They just
Well, they do, but not very
Well-
much. They don't like the snow.
no. They don't like the snow. You know, not until they get some manure on the ground. And then they'll get out and go. But so they should not really have too much of an impact.
Yeah.
The chickens. Which would be good.
Homemade shelters for the cats. Yeah, I think the kids have put up.
Not
They
yet. I still got one side that
okay. Well, they generally what they'll do is they'll put in 2.5 inch foam board, and they'll screw that in kind of a box, and then put a heat lamp in there, and that'll keep the cats nice and cozy. They won't come out of that box until it warms up.
Well, we've gone to an oil heater
Okay, yeah, inside that thing.
because the silly cats will jump on top of the heat lamp or knock it over.
Well,
And there's been a time or two that we've almost burnt the barn down.
Oh yeah.
well,
that was-
in the
that
chicken
was-
coop, yeah.
yeah,
That's-
And the
was
chicken coop
brutal.
too, but
Yeah, when we're running the brooder, we've had that happen where the light has come down or been knocked down and actually settled down on the wood shaving,
Mhm.
sat there and smoldered, and so that's always an exciting time to go. What is that I smell? You just start running for the barn. But
not too good.
how warm will it stay in the high tunnel? Well, at night it'll drop down below freezing, whatever the temperature is. For the most part, it'll drop the same temperature as far as the main high tunnel when it's not heated. But as far as during the day, if the sun's out, it can be 0 outside, and it can be 40, 50 degrees if the sun's shining. So it fluctuates highly in there, just from high to low. But even below freezing, as long as there's no wind and there's no wind in there, they'll be perfectly fine. So
Yeah.
we've got dogs everywhere around us tonight. So the pups are wanting to make their entrance. But so, well, what do you got planned for the garden? You talk some seed.
We'll talk some seed. Too much? I don't know.
Right?
We always say we're gonna scale down, as far as not the amount that we grow, but what we grow.
We're gonna become more focused.
Yes.
Okay.
And
It's always a good thought.
that always explodes
Mhm.
as we are planning the gardens and what we want to grow because we like it all. And
Yeah, we're no different. We like to get the spring catalogs like Johnny's and stuff, and we'll just be like, "Ooh, that's new. Let's try that. Ooh, that's pretty. Let's try that."
and it's very hard to focus on the things that you need to.
Yeah,
But,
but we did
yeah,
better. We did better
shiny.
last year. We did a lot better last year. So
We did.
we are what is your goals? We've been working with a so I guess we'd call him a consultant this year a little bit. We're going to start working with somewhat of a consultant, a mentor, we'll say, for sure. Uh, we had our first, we got to meet this individual, and the individual I'm talking about is actually Ray Tyler down in Tennessee. We actually got to meet him for the first time this summer.
Hannibal.
Huh?
We met him in Hannibal.
Yeah, in Hannibal this summer, and we've gotten the opportunity to do some almost one-on-one and possibly some one-on-one mentorship.
Well,
with him.
it's
So,
group one-on-one.
yeah,
Yeah.
but definitely doing that. So we've been working on some focusing again on goals and stuff like that. So what's your goals as far as vegetables go this year?
Consistency.
Consistency. Yeah, that's consistency. How so?
That it comes out of the greenhouse consistent and goes in the ground consistent, and I harvest consistent.
Okay.
All the way around.
Yep. All year long.
All year long. We're gonna set that bar a little high.
Yeah.
So 52 weeks. I'm gonna shoot for 50 weeks.
Brenda had said she puts old hay on the cows from the cows won't eat on the snow, and the hens will stay on it.
That's true.
Yeah. And we do that with the
We do that to the pigs.
We do that with the pigs all the time, and then if it snow's going to be out very long, we'll generally put something out for the hens to get out, or we'll move them to another area where we put hay down, and then where the cows have been, and then they can go around that area quite a bit of time.
It's gonna be nice with them in the high tunnel.
Oh yeah, something you don't have to worry about.
No, not at all. I mean, that's yeah.
And when they're done with that high tunnel, we're going to move them back over to the cat tunnel, which is behind that high tunnel, and they'll. I don't know if they'll finish out with that one or not. We'll probably in March. We'll probably move them out, and they'll be out on pasture again by March. So that'll be easy.
Yeah.
It generally stops snowing around March, so
Yeah, it does.
I'm usually planting cover crops in the pastures in March.
Yeah.
So
Who knows? It's
Yeah.
Missouri.
yeah, who knows? It's Missouri. That's true.
That's very
But-
true. Last year it was really cold. Planting wise, we planted our outside stuff middle of March. Like our spring crop stuff.
Yeah.
We planted outside in the middle of March, and we didn't harvest it because of how cold it stayed for so long until
Well, we had lettuce even out.
June. I mean,
I don't know if it was June. It was May.
it was late.
Yeah, it was.
It took forever.
Yeah, it's done. It got quite a bit cold, and then I don't think you got ground cover on that. So.
No. Yeah.
But yeah.
So a lot of learning last year too.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Or
every year,
this year.
we learn every new things all the time. I mean, it's definitely
Mhm.
a learning curve all the time. So, but as far as like even in the tunnel, when we put in the tunnel, it may be 32, but when you put row cover on it, that's a 3-degree rise on that. So that's what'll help the lettuce keep the lettuce from completely dying out.
That's true.
We may lose it at -1. Last I looked, Friday high was -1. So we may lose it, but
Well, I guess it won't get the -30 because that's the wind chill.
correct. That's
So-
the feel like temperature. So
Yeah.
but I don't know. We've got a propane furnace in that particular high tunnel, but the cost effectiveness for that right now is not. If we had the high tunnel actually packed with lettuce and spinach and all that other stuff, which was the plan, it's still sitting in the greenhouse, thankfully, actually.
Consistency.
But we'd definitely turn on that to keep it above 0,
Yeah.
I'd turn the thermostat all the way down, but turn the furnace on to where it'd kick
Right.
on probably about 35, 36 degrees probably. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but actually we can put I can actually put a digital thermostat. I've got a digital thermostat to do a video. That's one of the other things I'm going to work on probably tonight after our video. Then we're going to watch another live after this because there's a live coming on. So we're going to do this for about another 40 minutes. But I know, and we'll tag is going to be with Life Done Free and Porterhouse and Teal are going to be doing a live at 7 or at 8, I believe it was. So
Yeah.
We'll jump off of here and push everybody over there. And but I'll be interested to watch that one as well. So
Yeah, but as far as vegetables go this year, I mean we've really had a huge request for the salad turnips that we do. That's something that part of that consistency that that's something that people want, our customers want, is those salad turnips.
everybody that tastes them wants them.
Well, yeah, they're kind of.
I'm not a turnip
addicting.
guy, and I like those turnips. So.
I'm not a turnip person either.
But
yeah, that was your grandpa.
But those are hacker eye turnips.
Those are hacker eye turnips.
So we're gonna start those. I think we're gonna start those next week, right? Actually, in the tunnel. Was that one of them that we were starting next week?
Oh,
carrots. We're starting carrots next week, again, in the thing. In January, that's right. The turnips go. Yeah. Yeah. Tag best turnips in the world. Yep.
The ground might have to thaw.
Well, that's true. That's true.
We'll see what that looks like.
Okay, so you got your hacker eye turnips.
We definitely have.
What else are you going to focus on? That's one of the things we're talking about. What else? What other crops are you really focusing on? Consistent wise.
Consistency, lettuce, so Salanova, and spinach. We can do lettuce, spinach, turnips,
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes, of course. Of course, they're not really.
Well, of course, not everybody has a facility that you have.
Well,
not everybody plants 700 tomato plants and consistently tries to do that for starting in January.
We did pretty good this year.
We didn't do horrible.
We didn't do horrible, but we did pretty good.
We're going to do a lot more this year. Yeah. How we doing, hacks? Feed the beets to the pigs. Hey, how many people? Beets are one of those things that you love or you hate. There's no in between with a beet. So I think it's a genetic thing that beets taste like dirt to some people, and beets taste, I don't know,
like candy.
Like candy. What is that? What a beet tastes like to you?
Earthy.
Oh, earthy. Earthy's dirty.
Sweet earth. I don't know. It's good for you, right?
Oh, it's good for you. I don't disagree. I can muscle down a roasted beet, sliced, roasted, and that's how I like a lot of my stuff. But raw yum, cooked gross. See, now cooked, I don't know that I can, but like canned beets, ooh, I can't do that.
Oh, like pickled beets?
Well, or in
canned and pickle are basically the same thing.
No, nope.
Beets taste like dirt.
I don't know. They have a
beets taste like dirt. That's what Indian Mike says.
Okay, so then what about cilantro? Cilantro is another one of those that
people think it's spicy.
It can be spicy, or some people think it tastes like soap.
Now look over here, David. Getting a little aggressive over there. Canned beets and canned peas are gross. I agree.
Yes.
I agree. I can do beets a little bit, peas a little bit better than beets canned, but
true. Yeah, we do like cream peas. Like
yeah, but that's very rare. I don't like anything out of a can anymore.
Well, that's true. I mean, we've gotten to the point where it's hard to eat out of a can at all. Except for beans. Beans you can do out of a can, but
I will reserve those to the worst of times that if we get there, and I'll just keep those in the cellar.
True that.
in the canning cellar. So
True that.
cilantro is tasty. Indiana Mike likes. So he likes the cilantro,
Hmm.
but the beets taste like dirt. I don't know. Cilantro is the one that just goes in like the salsa, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what cilantro tastes like by itself. Is that
You don't like cilantro, but
No.
like if it's this heavy cilantro, you don't eat it. Yeah.
like mixing beets with cabbage, making a slaw? That would be. I could probably do that. I hadn't been a fan of coleslaw for quite a while, but some of these I've been liking. So, but I have a pineapple. Hacks for the Homesteader said I have a pineapple beet recipe that is awesome.
Ooh.
That actually does sound kind of good.
Like, do you can it?
Tag says Indiana is not all there.
Now I don't know about that.
Carolyn says raw juiced beets with fresh juiced apples is the best. So all these pairings are things that are sweet. A pineapple is sweet, an apple is sweet, so the beets can't be sweet because that's sweet and sweet don't go together. Sweet and
No,
something
it
else.
brings out the sweetness that's in the beet.
I feel like beets are
Because, well, but you have the Boro and you have Touchstone Gold, and then you had the candy cane one that
Those are all-
had different.
Those are all different types of beets. One's a yellow, one's your normal.
Yeah, so the Boro
beet.
is your red traditional beet that everybody knows. The Touchstone Gold is a golden orange beet, and then the Chatigua. I don't even know how to say it, but it's more of like a candy cane beet. It's red and white, and it's got a totally different flavor at all. It tastes sweeter dirt,
Like sweet dirt.
like sweet dirt. But the orange ones, I think, have more of a sweeter
Flavor.
taste to them than the red ones do.
Yeah. Not many people buy them because they look weird.
Well, I know people don't like weird looking food, but
I mean, I do.
I think they're pretty cool.
I think people. There's two different type of people here. There's one that like ordinary things, and two that they're like, oh, that's different. Like that looks really weird. I want to try it.
No. That's so true. So, during farmers market, we do come up with those people that they look at the, they look at the table and they're like, "What in the world is that?" And you explain it to them, and they're like, I don't know that I really want to take the chance. So you send it home with them anyways. Say, just go try it. Just go try it. And they come back and they're like, "Oh, you know what? That was so good. That was so good." And people just get freaked out over
Oh yeah. Well, I
odd
mean,
looking.
we've always been, of course, what we do, and if you're kind of new to what we do, of course, this is our first live, so we grow a commercial garden.
Yeah.
We do almost an acre. We got 2 high tunnels, a cat tunnel. We've got a 20 by 20 greenhouse that we've done for the last. This would be our 5th year growing now. I'm actually expanding the greenhouse because we've been out of room for 2 years now. I'm tripling the size to a 60 by 20.
That's going to help with the consistency.
That'll help with the consistency for sure. But we do a commercial style garden. We do the cattle, which right now we do a custom grazing Black Angus herd that is 118.
Mhm.
They were first calf heifers this year, and so we're gonna have our second calf crop now out of them. So, and then we've got our South Poles, which are our grass genetic beef, and then we do the laying hens. We do broiler chickens. We do pastured pork, and everything we do is pasture based.
Mhm.
So that's kind of where we're at with that. And I forgot where I was going with that in the beginning. But so I was just saying with the commercial side, we have to grow what people want to buy,
Yes.
and that's how we make a living on that side.
Yeah, and,
Now-
and that's how we've adjusted over the couple of years what we are growing.
Correct. So we don't necessarily grow exactly what we want to eat all the time. We try to gauge we always try to introduce new things, new colors, new varieties, because variety is the spice of life, but they don't always sell that well. So we've pared back some of that, and we've gotten back to the quote unquote basic. Basic being, I'm not sure how many vegetables we actually grow now, because it makes up a whole tablet or whole notebook of different types of vegetables. But
Mhm.
we are only doing one or two varieties essentially, except for tomatoes, and then we just still do.
We've narrowed that down this
We
year.
have. I mean, we've gone from probably 20 varieties of tomatoes to I think we're
That's-
down to 6 or 7 this year.
Yeah.
But we're still playing with, what is the best, because we're still not willing to sacrifice the taste of our vegetables for just the commercial varieties. We're still not
Right.
going to grow just because it's the commercial varieties and we get the most produce off of it. We still are growing towards the taste, but our
Yeah.
main focus with all of it is soil
Yes.
and soil health.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer that if the soil is healthy and living, that your vegetables are going to have more taste, nutrient dense, and essentially you eat less. But going back to that, we're still offering, and we still want to always do that variety, but we're also growing a homestead garden and saving seeds on another
Yeah.
whole thing. So it's the mix of doing all of it and
Yeah.
trying to do all of it. But
Well, yeah, because there's things that it's like that nobody's gonna like that, but you can't find it at the grocery store or Walmart or whatever because their produce section is just terrible.
well, I mean,
You get 5 things and then you have to.
what's crazy is people don't like ugly fruit. Think about tomatoes.
Yeah.
We want to grow heirlooms with my mom. She just put down on their B. Just put down. People look at your heirloom tomatoes funny until they taste them. That's right. I mean,
It's
people
true.
they don't like the looks of them, so they don't. And people shop with their eyes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, if it looks good, they're going to buy it, and then they're going to go, "That didn't taste very good."
Well, you kind of eat with your eyes too. I mean,
Yeah, you can.
yeah.
So
But Bobby Q put cilantro in his chicken soup
Picked it up. And ginger.
and ginger. That
have them tie.
is Thai for a Thai
Now,
thing.
what is the noodles? That would be really good. The noodles that we did with kimchi,
Bim bimbap
bimbap,
Yeah.
bimbap
bimbap, which I think is a Thai type
I
dish.
think it is too.
That would be really good with
That
a
would be
chicken
good.
soup with cilantro and a little ginger.
That would be really
So that's right. Give me all that ugly food.
good.
That's
Epic tomatoes.
It will not go to waste. That's for sure.
and Hypocrite's Garden said asked if we had seen the Epic Tomatoes, the book Epic Tomatoes. I've seen a little bit of it, but I've never gone through it. But I mean, I would still love to try, and they say it's the black creme tomato,
Oh yeah.
and it is a solid black tomato. But there's nobody. I won't say nobody because I would buy it, but 98% of people would walk by and go, "I ain't
It would be fun.
touching that thing."
It would be
Because it
fun
gets
because it would be a
raw.
good.
Yeah.
Until you're
They say
like,
it's absolutely wonderful,
Yeah.
absolutely
you have
wonderful
to
taste
promote
into
what
it.
it is.
It'd be a great conversation starter.
Well, that's true.
What the heck is that thing?
Well, it's no different than our turnips. Lots of people think they're radishes, so
Oh yeah.
yeah.
doing all that. But
Yeah. Yep. No, there's some education there. But-
Hypocrite, there's a book and an online course and a book called The Whole Okra, Bit of a Garden Book Nut. Yeah, I'm always trying to collect more books on gardening, and
We've got an array right over there.
Yeah. so I'll have to look the Whole Okra. I'll have to look that one up. So
That's one thing we didn't grow this last year was okra.
yeah,
Oh,
I think I've got it on the. Again, it's not a big seller, but we generally try to put in a few plants for ourselves because Ella will absolutely devour pickled okra.
Whole entire jar in 10 minutes.
Sit there and just eat a jar after jar after jar. So a shed to library, absolutely. I'd still love to build a bookshelf where you have to have the ladder
Oh,
to go across with the books, and I don't have that many books yet. So
Not yet.
Now, my mother would have, just not the books I would have read.
This is true. This is true.
Grandpa Sam.
She, the Maribeth Patterson is a bookworm.
Yes, she
So,
is.
Salmon is
But-
horrible.
Yeah, that too. But
Okay. What else you got? Seed wise.
well, asparagus should be going crazy this year. So last year we put in,
We put an additional
This'll
600 bed
be-
foot.
yeah, so they'll be on year 2. This
Yep.
is their second year, so we can actually harvest off of them.
Yep.
2 years ago we put in, did you say 600 foot?
600 foot of this was it last year? Yeah, it was last year 600 foot.
Yeah.
And then we've got another 80 foot or so that we put in 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
So that needs to be filled back in. It hasn't. That's not all the way filled back in, but
But we'll actually be able to harvest off of the
yeah,
the
yeah.
asparagus this year. Last year, we really, really wanted to, and it's one of those. Do we just go ahead and do it just a little bit, or let them actually grow and do their thing and not sacrifice their future growth? So
Yep.
we didn't harvest anything off them last year. This year we can take a third, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, roughly.
So, and we are asparagus eaters. We love
Yes.
asparagus.
Wild asparagus too.
Oh yeah, we like going asparagus hunting in the pastures. I don't know how those ever get there, but
Old homesteads. So we go around fence lines, and we've got a bunch of old places where homes used to be, and just where that seed had gotten, that root had gotten, or seed gotten, and they
Yeah.
still grow out in the middle of the pasture. I mean, you'll have just a big asparagus bush and going out there. So, but we're definitely trying to move more, not moving more, but we're trying to add more perennials every year.
yeah,
It's the perennials is getting to the it's getting the perennials in. That's the tough thing. The annuals are not the. I mean, we're planting lettuce every week, but the perennials are just hard to get into. So, getting ready to order a bunch of fruit trees for
yeah. We've been wanting to do
grafting.
trees for quite a few years.
And so I'm getting ready to graft a bunch of trees. So I'm going to get that order put in now.
Yeah,
So I saw where they're having a deal for 2% off.
I think we're finally
That's a good deal.
though at the point in the farm where you've done a lot of studying into the permaculture this year, and we've kind of high level view. You've made some realizations on things that we didn't see before. On some of they're not really. They're the ditch lines that they put in for the crop fields, or the
Terraces.
terraces for the crop fields
Yep.
that are actually going to be really work well for the swells that you want to put in, and being able to create some of these places for food forests where
Yeah.
if we had done some of these things we wanted to do years before and actually had time to do them, they might actually weren't in the best of places.
Probably. I mean, but we would have had fruit by now.
Well, yeah, but
So what she was saying is, of course, we've got some of the fields and we've done videos. I've done videos on them where some of the fields are terraced and had been continuous beans for many, many years. And so those actually have drain tile in them, but the drain tile is kind of collapsed in some of them. So the challenge is going to be taking those terraces and eliminating the drain tile. So what my plan is to go in there and with a backhoe dig out where that tile is and probably go down to where it tees in. I'll keep the lateral lines will stay in, but I want to take the verticals completely out, and then we'll backfill those, and we'll just then go back in and level that terrace, not the terrace itself, but we'll level the ditch side of the terrace to where it's level and it doesn't necessarily drain to the middle. We'll level it out, and then what I'm going to do is just rip the terrace hillside, so I uncompact that side now that, and it should be better. But we'll terrace it, and then I'm probably going to go ahead and put in tillage radish for that fall, and then we'll start planting trees in the spring on those terraces. I just got to find time to do all that. So,
It sounds all good.
but let's see. Hippocrates said, I just sold my house that had a small but well established asparagus bed in the front yard. Got to start from scratch. Prefer to start from seed, which I have. Which seed do you have? That's how we start all of our asparagus. And this year or the last year, we have some Martha Washington,
Yeah.
which is the old variety, but
Millennial.
Millennial is the newer one. We have a neighbor down the road that had some Millennial, and I think it was only 2 or 3 years old, and they couldn't even keep up with it. So we decided to go with that, and I was really happy with 2 years of first year of growth on it. So that's the 600 feet.
Yeah,
is the
that all is
Millennial.
from seed.
So that's all
Yeah.
from seed, but absolutely. So
Yeah.
he also said, just remember permaculture isn't a technique; it's a design system based on ethics and principles. People get that confused sometimes. You're absolutely correct. I'm actually in the middle, I'll say, of a permaculture design course. In between everything else I do, I try to do that here and there. So,
Well, that's your book.
well, yeah. I mean, I've got.
I mean, sometimes the book is digital.
Well, yeah. I mean, that I spend a lot of my. I wish I had more time to sit and actually read physical books, but I do a lot of the online books and research that way. I do. Richard Perkins, which is over in Sweden, does Ridgedale permaculture. I followed him quite a bit, and most of our chicken designs are off of him.
Yeah.
So for sure, Hippocrates says he's got Martha Washington, but he's not sure. So
they're a good old time plant.
Oh, tried and true.
Tried and true.
But so.
Yep.
What else you
So
got?
let's see. What else do we have? Cucumbers. Not my favorite plant at all, but we do grow them. Which that we've decided to only go with 2 varieties this year instead of
2 varieties. So we're
5.
gonna do a pickling, and we're gonna do an English type, and then those will go in the tunnel. And what we do with those is we split the tunnel in half. We do 2 rows in the tunnel, 2 beds in the tunnel, and then half of the one bed gets done, and then 3 weeks later the other half gets. So we actually have 2 varieties going at one time, but then you pull out another one and start that one again. So always have a 35-foot row going up each variety.
Yes.
So
yes.
That's how you do that.
Yeah.
Remy, you have a wonderful name. Remy's Great World of Everything Outdoors. So get the Audible Amazon it has and listen while you're at work. Well, I do listen to a lot of podcasts at work.
Yeah.
Do a lot of research on that. Listen to a lot of YouTube videos when I'm at work. So I do a lot of listening.
We do a lot of listening.
So
a lot. Let's see, green beans, of course.
I love green beans, but I hate the work they have.
Well, we don't usually eat green beans unless we have them canned at home.
That's right.
So actually this was the first year we canned green beans.
Well, we're going to can a lot more this year.
Well, we will can a lot more this year, yes, but I'm thinking the last time that we actually ate green beans, because we didn't have any, it's probably been 2 years.
I don't know.
I mean, we don't really get them from the can.
If we had them, we'd eat them.
If we have them, we eat them. That's right. So, that's true.
If BCS ever made a green bean picker, which I know you can buy green bean pickers, but if BCS ever made one, I'd buy one. So
I'm gonna look that up.
They don't make them yet.
Can I nudge them?
There's a guy over in Australia that makes BCS equipment, homemade BCS equipment. Maybe that'd be the guy you can talk to. So.
Maybe the neighbor can make me something.
he can do it. But
we have a great neighbor that does some welding for us. But he's pretty inventive sometimes. Okay, let's see. Broccoli. I think we're gonna keep that to what? Only 2 plantings this year. I don't
Probably.
know. I love broccoli, but man, it takes forever.
Takes forever, and it's just not one of those things that. what was the vegetable? Broccoli is always one of those things to me. It's always like I can grow a beautiful vegetable, a beautiful plant, and I'm always disappointed in the head.
There was
2 years ago, we had some really really nice fall broccoli, but
yeah.
it seems like so much work for so little.
What you get out of
What
it?
you get out of it, because it takes forever, like you said.
Yeah.
And I'm so used to having bed. I mean, bed space is a premium when you're doing commercial gardening,
Right.
and you have this broccoli that sits there and sits there and sits there.
And then you get one little like.
Oh, no, I mean you should get a head like this.
You should. Well, maybe that's the problem, but we don't know how to grow it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What was the one thing that was it was a beets. That was one of the hardest things to grow. Somebody said it.
That's
Like,
what somebody said.
we can grow beets like
Beets
coming out
are
of salad.
super hard.
Like, I won't survive off beets.
I got beets coming out my ears, but I can't grow anything else. So, let's see, cabbage.
Gotta make your sauerkraut.
Gotta make sauerkraut. That is like you can never go back to store bought sauerkraut. That if you've never done sauerkraut before, you gotta try it. That is the easiest thinking ferment to do.
I think that's one of the things that you need to get scheduled this year is your canning class, your certification for your canning stuff.
Yeah. I might have to go to like a trip. I think they don't do that online.
Okay.
That might be
I think it was in Nebraska. We'll send you this winter.
Mm-hmm.
It's only gonna be -50 there.
Oh, thanks. Okay. Carrots. That is also a consistency crop this year. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's yours. That's all yours.
Carrots are, if you can get carrots to germinate consistently, which I've done some trials, and I think this year we had some bad seed, but that's the trick, is to get them consistently with no weeds to start. And Ray's been doing steamed beds.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do some research on steamed beds. You sacrifice the biological life in the soil, but
do you?
Yeah. Yep. That's why you get. He's actually done tomatoes this past year and not fertilized tomatoes because he steamed the beds and they didn't have to fertilize them hardly at all, because the biological life ties up all the nutrients, and when you kill them, that's what gives you your nutrient. So that's what when we're putting down like your feather meal and that kind of stuff's eating that.
Yeah.
And it's actually tying it up.
Okay.
And so when it dies and the cycle goes, that's what's feeding your plants.
Well, that makes sense.
Yep. So.
Okay.
Yeah, carrots are on my to-do list this
year. We love eating them, but they're a pain in the butt. Yeah. Let's see. Corn. Definitely gonna do sweet corn again.
Not till fall.
I agree. I really liked the fall.
Yeah.
The fall planting on them. That turned out well.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I don't know. We did get lucky this year. Of course, it turned cold pretty quickly this year too. That second crop probably could have happened if we didn't.
Yes, Remy. We'll plant plenty of turnips for you, Remy.
Remy likes to eat turnips out of the garden.
Right when he picks them.
Right when he picks them.
Pick and eat.
Pick and eat, huh?
He's a pick and eat. But the corn, we got that first harvest off of it, and the trash pandas stayed out of it. We had it fired up enough.
That was your goal this year.
That was a goal, yeah, and we achieved that goal. We had a 3-strand wire around the garden that was nice and hot. I would have liked to have been able to see if one tried to touch it. That would have been funny. Be kind of revenge for the past couple years of taking out my corn, but
you got 10 minutes here.
I got 10 minutes. Okay, I'm supposed to go through all this.
No, you don't have to go through all of it.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, we're doing your big crops like peppers, and we've got onions. Onions are going to go in the greenhouse here probably any time now.
Yeah, they take a while to.
Lisa's going to be. Of course, we both work full time right now, off farm.
Yes, we have
But Lisa's
W
gonna.
two jobs.
Yeah, we've got W2 jobs.
I guess
Um,
that's what you call them.
on top of all we do. But Lisa's going to be home starting, well, probably Thursday, but Friday for sure. She
Yeah,
gets
we got
off.
Christmas break,
So
and
she gets
so
Christmas break. So
I'll be able to get into the greenhouse and get some of this started that we normally get started about this time or 1st of January.
so which means I've got to get the germ chamber finished before next week.
Yeah,
Really?
you got a
So-
lot to do.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I always have a lot to do.
Well, the house is,
Oh yeah, no,
the house is done except for electric. We need to finish the
I'll put
the
lights in there. It'll be good.
solar lights.
Yeah, I've got the electric for the light brand.
I know it won't take long, but
But we're definitely gonna do
we do have the garlic in already.
garlic's in, and we had some beautiful garlic go in this year.
Yeah, we did.
So absolutely, got it in probably a little late, but I think it'll be fine.
Oh yeah, they'll be fine. I
So.
think they'll be all right.
But do lots of spinach. Um, we've got garden space. We're working with a Tind is a software.
Yeah.
That we work with, and it is a beast of a software that we can literally put in plans for all year on exactly what bed, when, and we can schedule it all out.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm continually working on right now. And then it's updates so we can give direction on who needs to do what, when they need to do what. We have to keep records. We are not currently organic certified. We have been
Naturally certified.
grown certified. So we try to keep good records and what we put on the beds, but maybe eventually we'll go certified. I don't know. We grow organically, so that's good enough for me for now.
Me too.
But
Me too.
But we don't do a lot of pumpkins right now. We'd like to do a pumpkin patch and do an on-farm fall pumpkin patch. I've got some big ideas with greenhouses and bringing a Santa Claus in with a tropical garden in one of the greenhouses. Yeah, no Santa Claus. I know a couple of them.
Yep.
If I keep getting gray, I'm going to look like a Santa Claus. But don't do a lot of melons. Customer service. That's exactly our motto: is know your farmer, know your food. Come on the farm and
Come see where.
come see where it's grown and make sure it's up to your snuff.
Yep.
So,
That's true. That's
but,
true. Well,
but onions, because you're gonna do all three: red, green, and a sweet onion, and then you have all your bunching onions. I don't know how many bunching onions you harvest a week, but it's a ridiculous amount.
It is a ridiculous amount.
But we sell them. We sell them all day long. So what else you have? Kale. I have a new product that I've heard of today for the kale. Somebody, Ray was actually talking about it, that he can grow kale from January to September. He took 2,000 bunches off of one bed.
Wow.
So
That is a lot.
that's a ton of kale. So what? Kohlrabi. That's still one that playing with. I really like the idea of having it as a cabbage substitute. With
Yeah.
the slaw. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
So
That the kohlrabi might actually be good. One of our customers had said that they had taken the turnips and shaved it for like hash browns,
yep.
and it was really good. And I bet kohlrabi would probably be the same thing. It has that tough consistency and sweetness to it.
Yep.
That'd be good.
Absolutely. We're gonna do more herbs. I've got another project with some herbs. So and the the fruit trees, the grafting. So
Yeah, maybe this year I'll actually learn how to cook with fresh
herbs more.
more.
You just throw them
That's
in and
always-
cook them with them and just go with it.
You could dry them.
Chicken rosemary. You know it works.
Yeah, just stuff some. rosemary
That's like
in some
starting
chicken.
from scratch whenever you first get married. You always burn
Yeah.
the meal. Is he tasting
Cold.
like, yeah. The
Just stuff it into the chicken.
Yep. Slaw.
two.
Just stuff
Yep.
the chicken.
Kohlrabi.
Ooh, yeah.
Yep.
That would be very good.
What else you got? Anything else?
I think you touched on them all.
What kind of lettuce are you gonna do?
Just Salanova, as far as I know. Now,
Now, people may not know what Salanova is.
oh well, I guess that's true. So Salanova is like you have your iceberg lettuce. Like
Well, no, Salanova is a brand. It's a brand of type, and there's different varieties of Salanova. So there's a butter, but
Yeah.
it's all a bunching.
It's
lettuce.
a small head.
It's a bunching head, but it's not.
They do say.
It's a bunching loose head. So you
Yeah.
you cut the base and it all falls off.
Yeah.
So you have butters. You have more like a
Frillies.
romaine. The romaine, it wouldn't be romaine. What is the one that would have more frillies?
Sweet crisp.
Is that kind of yeah? I don't know.
But
So-
as far as like the flavor scale goes, like you have your iceberg lettuce that has is just like water, and then you have
Now
your
wait a minute. Store bought iceberg lettuce is like water and no taste.
Okay, this is true.
What iceberg did we grow last year? Do you remember what it was called? We're growing it again this year. I don't remember what it's called either,
No.
but it was very very good. Iceberg
Crispo.
lettuce. Crispo. That's what it was, and
Yeah.
it was had good flavor. It was really
Yeah.
good.
It was really good.
That's probably something we need to start thinking about getting into.
Yeah, I think if we were going to do something else besides Salanova,
The iceberg. Yeah.
it'd be the iceberg. Yeah.
So but the Salanova, we do 6 different varieties of Salanova in a bed.
Up to 6.
Up to
depending
6.
on the year. Yeah.
In the summer, we
Yeah.
take out one of those varieties because it gets really, really bitter.
Yeah.
But as the year goes on, it's kind of hard to explain how we do lettuces and do it all year long. But water, and shade cloth.
Yeah.
So it's all about and the other thing you're going to do different this year is control weeds consistently with ground cloth. So it's kind of a love-hate relationship. It's kind of like tunnels. I hate looking at the tunnels,
Yeah.
but we love the product. We love the consistency. We love the control.
Yes.
Brenda, you're right. It's polyester lettuce, but when we get our iceberg, you have to try it and see if it changes your mind.
It was different.
It's
Flavorful.
yeah. I loathe going to a restaurant and getting a salad. I just give me something else because I can't do it. Can't do it. So there's a local restaurant. I'm going to go in and talk to them and say, please let me give you lettuce. So,
That's true.
but you got 2 more minutes. Was there anything else?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Any other updates? Now, are we going to do this next Monday? We're going to do this every Monday, 7:00.
I don't know. I guess that depends. Well, next Monday is after Christmas.
Yeah, we probably won't do. Well, we still do because it's the day after Christmas at least.
It's the day after Christmas.
I'm
We
okay with
can
that.
Say if we survive the 30 below,
We'll survive it.
we'll survive it. We just
Yeah.
bring your-
BYLOBL. Bring your own lettuce.
Go to a restaurant with your own food. Will you please just plate this for me?
Did you like the stems in your salad? That's the base of the salad that's in my plate. Yeah,
That's no joke.
I nibbled on it, Remy. So
A lot of them though are just doing with what they can right now too. I mean,
it is, but I'll tell you, I know prices have gone up, and we've not raised our prices on anything hardly at all.
no,
I think our eggs are cheaper than store bought eggs now.
yeah,
And that's something we've always tried to do, and obviously we'll have to keep evaluating that. I try to on the vegetables. I try to do baseline. I try to do 4 or 5 every year on what we're selling and making sure that everything's good. But I'll tell you, going to a restaurant, you're not getting what you got,
No.
and you're still paying more.
yeah.
So we don't eat out very often anymore, but I'm going to avoid it more and more, I think. So
Yeah.
do we grow a butter crunch lettuce? One of the, I don't know if it's a butter crunch exactly. You'd have to give me a name of what do we grow a butter crunch lettuce?
Well, butter crunch is a
salad. One of the Salanovas is a butter. Salanova.
one of the loose leaf lettuces, if I remember right. One of the it doesn't come in. It's actually a loose leaf. Is a butter crunch. Am I right? That
Okay. Sure.
I
gonna
got
get the
the
thing out.
magazine.
Well, if you
We're
guys,
gonna see.
we're gonna keep going here for just a minute, but if you want to jump over and leave when we get off, definitely head over to. I think it's on Porterhouse and Teals. If not, it's on Tag. I'm not sure if somebody wants to fill me in or tell me which one it's actually on.
Butterhead.
I would definitely
Butter crunch.
recommend you guys go listen to them. Porterhouse and Teal is out of California, and they've got a really good channel going. And then Tag is the man.
Tag's awesome.
Tag's awesome, and most of you guys all know Tag. So
the butter crunch is a butterhead type lettuce, and it is very similar to the Salanova butter type variety.
So
Variety developed
specifically,
by George. Okay.
yeah. So specifically a butter crunch lettuce, no, but it looks identical to the Salanova butters.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm not sure if it's. I know that the Salanova, the difficulty we have, and I'm not sure, Bobby, where you're out of exactly. We're in North Missouri, and our summers still get so humid that it's hard to grow lettuce in the summer.
It is.
So we have to be pretty specific on the lettuces we do. Icebergs will stop, romaines will stop, but Salanova we can maintain. So
yeah, they're pretty
Susie's
darn hardy.
making a debut here.
They're
So-
pretty darn hardy.
Well, it's not
And
not necessarily the hardiness; it's the bitterness that you have to keep out of the lettuce.
Well,
is
yeah,
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
like that's what I mean by hardy. Is
So.
they can take a lot of stuff.
But-
Yeah. Well, I
So-
guess we'll wrap up and
I guess we'll jump off of here. If you guys go over there, tell them I sent you over there, maybe. But we appreciate all you guys tuning in. We'll be, as far as I know, we're going to plan on doing this every Monday. Remy, have a good night. We're going to do this every Monday, 7:00, and we're going to make this a thing. So we've been putting more videos out. We're going to keep on with the greenhouse and those things. So do you want to do a tagline?
I'll let you.
So, well, we appreciate all you guys. Until next time, pull up a chair and welcome to Tabletop Farms.
See you later.